Happy Monday from Tucson, Arizona. And you're noticing my new hat I got at the Pima County Fair last week. Last one. And I know you're jealous. And I didn't know why you guys were all jealous until this weekend. And I watched my Detroit Lions on the Hard Knocks show on HBO. And okay, guys, I have to, segue. Why are we talking about Monday Motivator and the Detroit Lions? Well, go watch it. Go. You don't even have to be, I think, a Detroit Lions fan to enjoy it if you like football. And as a matter of fact, shout out to Brett Hollywood. He was watching it before the season started. It follows Detroit Lions in the preseason up until the season, um, and whatnot. There's 5 episodes, and he was asking me if I was watching it, and this and that. I'm like, no, I don't watch it. And the truth is, I can't watch Detroit. I up until this year, I will admit to you, I can't watch them. I love you guys. I will buy a hat. I will literally support y'all, but to watch the Detroit Lions is probably how you all feel about watching the news or watching something like that now. It would be you watch the Lions and they either get blown out to where you might as well take a nap, or you watch the whole game and then Aaron Rodgers comes back and takes it away on Thanksgiving Day. So I had this, like other things, I had to save my heart. I had to guard my heart because I care too much. And I see my dad watching all these games. He's been watching the Lions longer than I have, obviously. But I'm 44 and I can't count on my right hand how many times we've made the playoffs, let alone playoff wins, guys. So we all know what the stats are. And you know, coach after coach, this or that, it just honestly got to the new coach's name's Dan Campbell, and people are saying good things about him. And I did not watch them play literally for 2 years of his first 2 years. And I couldn't tell you very much about him at all. Dan Campbell, the coach, or the coaching staff, I couldn't tell you anything. You know why? Because I've seen him come and go and come and go, and my heart just can't take it. My heart just can't take it. If you're a Detroit Lions fan, you know what I mean. It's probably similar to like the Boston Red Sox before they won, but I've been kind of like looking for a pick me up. I've been looking for something to just kind of help me get direction, and what's going to help me just think about my next chapter. What is that? What am I doing and how am I talking about it? And you know, I don't know whether they cut it, but the way that it's presented, the way that they show the coaching, the message, the enthusiasm, and just the way they communicate to each other, I think was done really well. In these shows, it starts with who are we? Who is this team? I had no idea they have Detroit Lions gear that says grit across the front of it, and you will see me with some of that. Um, I completely subscribe to the mindset of what's going on there, and I could tell. I literally I get goosebumps watching the guy talk now. I get because you know why? Because you, he cares about people. End of story. Like, I think that is the root of it. You gotta care about people in this world. And whether you're gonna be on his team or the next team, winners and losers, he wants to be good people. He wants good people, and that's evident. And I didn't know this. I didn't know this till this weekend, but I've been doing a lot of work on I want to do with my mindset and watching those 5 hours of the coaching staff and even the mindset, because what I have is the benefit of hindsight. So I saw, I actually looked into the season, and I did not realize how good Detroit actually was playing. They had actually a losing streak, but like I had to go look back at their season as their fan and realize, they went from 3 wins to 9 wins. They really are actually worth watching. And and I think what happened was all of the rest of the world watched that preseason and they became Detroit fans again. Because we were the butt of the league. I mean, they're talking, you guys might not know about football, but Detroit Lions have had a Thanksgiving Day forever game. It's always been Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving Day, and they wanted to take that game away from them because of how bad Detroit has been performing, So where am I going with this, right? Well, it all started with the very first episode. I want you to go take a look at it if you're into football, because he says, what is this team about? What is this team about? And what it really, took me into my own mindset is, what is Harley about? What are the words they're going to use for me, right? What am I the words I'm going to use for myself? And I've kind of got those dialed in. I've shared them. But moreover, where are we going? Okay? Who are we as a generation? Who are we right here as you're sitting listening to me? You've survived a pandemic. We all have. We might not be World War II survivors or Vietnam survivors or veterans or, went to Harvard or Yale, college or no college. We all survived the pandemic, folks, right? So I think it's time to put that on our shoulder and say, who are we? Well, first of all, we survived the pandemic. Now, what are we going to go do? What are we going to go do? Right? So I was so impressed with the mindset and how the whole communication style was, how it's what our goal is for this team in Detroit Lions, and that grit is literally on the hats. But it's also you be you. Let's win and come together as a team, but you stand on your own 2 feet, however goofy or athletic or non-athletic that is. And that really was part of it. And, um, you know, sometimes it might be hard for us to go back and look at something that gave us this much anguish. Um, it really is, but I think it's time. It's time for you to go back, pick up something that gave you anguish that you used to love. Pick up, that could be health. That could be, for me, it's my health. I've lost some weight, but I now know some of the stress is eking back in. Certain things can be, I can always get better. So I'm going to focus on my health. I'm going to focus on my business a little bit more. And those kind of, for me, overlap because the healthier I am, the more vibrant I feel and the more, you know, people I want to help. But check out what it is that you're going to pick up for the next, now moving forward. Pick up that ball and let's take it to wherever we're headed. And it could just be we're going to take the kids to the this, that, and the other. Talk to my sister. They have a full summer. So we don't need to get grand. We need to just get happy and say, hey, that sounds like a great summer, Whitney, of going and taking and doing some horseback riding and some t-ball and some soccer and, seeing what the kids like, what they don't like. And that's a full-time job. I don't expect much out of my, sisters and brothers-in-law raising 2 kids. Realize what it is you can expect from yourself and give yourself the grace to maybe not do it all. And I see my sister does this really well. Is she just enjoys where she's at. She enjoys her own backyard. And so this is Harley from his backyard. Monday Motivator. You made it. We made it through the pandemic, guys. We're alive. You may or may not think that you're better off, but we're all alive. Okay? Um, this is our generation's world war. This is you know, and it's time to use it as our strength, but also move forward. So let's wake up a little bit. Let's wake up a little bit. Talking to another neighbor, he's at work, and people are frustrated that folks just aren't getting it. And his example was this: I'm working in the dirt, and I drop a water bottle or something. We're doing something, and everybody just kind of sees it, and nobody takes one step forward, picks that water bottle up, and say, "Hey, you drop your water bottle." Right? We're all just seeing it, and we're not reacting to it and helping our friends move along. So help your friends move along today, but also help yourself. Realize we made it through the pandemic. Oh my goodness, I like the Detroit Lions more than I ever have in 20 years. You know why? Because their mindset, because I now see something I want to root for. I see something that's not just politics, or not just the right thing to say. I can see it with the words and actions and the intensity in our voices. So let's find that again. If you can't get intense or a passion about something, reevaluate, because I can get a little fired up about my new Detroit Lions hat. And, have some friends come to town, gonna visit more. But, what is it? We've survived this pandemic to do what? Answer that. Love you all.